Hello everyone, welcome to Fe'stem Introduction to Artificial Intelligence Module 2, second part Machine Learning. So let's talk about ML. Before that, happy Father's Day to all your dear fathers, and let's move. So what is machine learning? Let's talk about machine learning. So for machine learning, it is a study of computer algorithms that improve automatically through experience and by the use of data. It is seen as a part of artificial intelligence. As we have heard that machine learning is a simple part of artificial intelligence. If suppose artificial intelligence is our brain, machine learning would be something related to it, and that is something like a part of artificial intelligence, a part of our brain. It's something like this. Okay, so let's segregate the words and find out the meaning. Machine learning, making a machine learn the human brain, the logical reasoning, what all things we know. We want a machine to learn all those things, all those same things. Maybe if you want to make your machine learn the difference between an apple and an orange, then you should be using a concept called machine learning. It comprises of a lot of algorithm and a math. A lot of maths, not a math, it's a lot of math. So for example, let's take a robot example of a robot that you have created, a robot called Bunny. So for you, the robot doesn't know anything, and you have to make it learn all of the facts what you know. So this is how you are going to do all of the things. So okay, let's move to the next slide. Okay, the MINS dataset. So a MINS dataset or a database is a large database of handwritten digits that is commonly used for training various image processing systems. The database is also widely used for training and testing in the fields of machine learning. So this is how the definition of MINS dataset goes on. For every machine learning student, it is an important part of ML. So what is this MINS dataset? It is a large data set containing of all digits, numbers, characters which you want your machine should learn. Suppose, take an example, you wanted to teach your bunny the difference between 0, what you wrote, and the difference between the 0 your friend wrote. Something like I used to write 0 like this, and my friend used to write 0 like this. So how would my bunny be able to understand the difference between these two? And what are the characters written over there? So there is a large number of data stored or made learn to a machine beforehand, so that it is able to differentiate between the letters, process that image. An example of this can be said as if you are holding a Zoom meeting and if you're writing something, sharing a screen, if the person don't know about numbers, will it be able to understand the difference between 1, 2 and 3? It wouldn't be possible. So MINS data set or database is an important format to make a machine learn the data, the numbers and the digits. Is an important part in training and testing the machines. Okay, so there are 3 types of machine learning: supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. These are 3 types. When we are talking about machine learning, this is the most basic part every person should know. So let's move ahead. So what is supervised learning? Supervised learning is the type of machine learning in which machines are trained using well-labeled training data, and on the basis of that data, machines predict the output. Let's take an example of your bunny, which we have created a robot. So if we want to make it differentiate between the dog and a cat, then what we'll have to do? We'll have to show a picture or write a program with thousands of codes, and we'll have to explain him what is the big meaning of a dog and a cat. So the next time you come up with a picture of a dog and a cat, the bunny would be able to differentiate it. So for supervised learning, we are using this word supervised because you are present there as a tutor. You are supervising your machine, your bunny, to differentiate between what are the words written over there. And that's how the machine is able to learn each and every fact of that machine, of that object, sorry, not that machine, of that object, just like the dog and the cat. So what is the machine approach to learn this? The machine or your bunny would look upon the size, the shape and the texture. For the size, it will look upon on the facial expression, facial texture of the size of the cat and the dog, and also the shape, okay, and then the color as well. So this is how we can differentiate or we can know about supervised learning. The basic fact about supervised learning is that you are present as a teacher, and it is a well labeled because we have a label called dog and a cat. We are using the labels over here. So it is an important characteristic of supervised learning. And the real world example can be a spam filter or not spam filter. Let's go ahead. So unsupervised learning. Unsupervised learning is a type of machine learning in which models are trained using unlabeled dataset and are allowed to act on that data without any supervision. The data is clustered in such a way that we can differentiate between them. So with a simple drawing, we can explain it. Let's take an example of a robot bunny. If you have given a bundle of data containing the fruits into it, okay, the fruits are apples, mangoes and watermelon. Okay, watermelon. I'm sorry, I'm not writing the whole letter over here, it's not possible. So you have around 3 apples, 8 mangoes and 2 watermelon. So what will happen? The machine is going to differentiate between the colors. What is the normal approach? That is the color, the size and the texture. Through it will create a clustered data, the data of same number of things in one. That means it can cluster it in one, that is apple, then mangoes in one, and then watermelon in the other. That is how the machine would be differentiating between all these 3 fruits. Because we are not supervising here, we are not telling what the data is actually about. We are just giving a handsome of data and saying that yeah, put it into a differentiate it or set the output, give us the output. So the machine over here would make its own data set, make its own creation to differentiate. It will create a cluster data and then be able to differentiate, and that's how the output goes on. Maybe it doesn't know the name of all those fruits, but still it will be able to differentiate between it, and that's how the unsupervised learning goes on a machine. Now the reinforcement learning. Reinforcement learning is an area of machine learning concerned with how intelligent agents ought to take actions in an environment in order to maximize the notion of cumulative rewards. Suppose you're trying to teach your bunny, the robot, to walk. Now you can tell the robot to, yeah, you have to stand and move your front leg and then the back leg. But you can't make it learn all those things, just like you can't make it learn how to walk. It's its own approach. Let's talk about a small baby who learns to walk. What he does is he tries to watch what we are doing over there, how we are putting our legs, but for him the real actual path of walking is through its process. So for machine, we are not doing anything over here. In reinforcement learning, we want a machine to learn one thing which we don't know. Okay, if we don't know about artificial intelligence and I want that my machine should know each and every fact about artificial intelligence, then we have to have a path, and this is called reinforcement learning. For each time, there is a trial and error concept of learning. For each time, if the machine is on a correct way, it will be given a reward. That would be keep it up. What? Give it up, bunny. Go ahead. These things would make the bot aware that yeah, it is going in a good path and it will continue the same thing. But if it does something error between it, then you don't have to say anything. It will be able to understand that yeah, it is not the correct path, and thus it can learn by its own mistakes. It is something like learn by your own mistakes and do what you want. But learning is on the hands of the machine, learning by themselves, self-learning. So let's move ahead. Now there is a question present over here. Which of the ML type will you use to make your bunny learn these flowers? You can drop out your answers in the comment section and I would be very pleased to answer each and every of them. So please go ahead. Okay, the nearest classifier. It's a very interesting part. You know what? A new sample is classified by calculating the distance to the nearest training case. The sign of that point then determines the classification of the sample. Let's suppose the nearest classifier is that a new sample is given over there. Suppose I have a sample called the red cherry, okay? Not the red cherry. This type of cherry is undefined. We don't know what is the color of this cherry. So there are red cherries, blue cherries and green cherries. If suppose I placed it somewhere at this place, okay, somewhere over here. So I have to find the color of this cherry through this nearest classifier. There are so many classified states present over here, and through this I have to find out the color of this cherry. What would be the color of this cherry? So through nearest classifiers, we can determine the color of this cherry. That would be something like, we'll create a circle out of it, and through which the nearest point, that is something like, we have blue present over here. So we can find out that the nearest classifier is the blue cherry present over here. Now let's take an example. If you're not able to understand about this, you are a football player. Alright, let me take this. You are a football player and you have to go over here, okay? You have something like 3 friends of yours, like A, B and C. Nobody knows about you, okay? But if you go over here, everybody would know. So how would be playing? There would be a strategy that you would be passing the ball to this person, then this person, then this person, and then this person would be doing the goal, because it is the nearest to the goal point, right? But you are surrounded with so many opposition players and you can't go out. You have only the condition that you should give it over there to the A player. So for you, the nearest classifier would be A, right? Not the B one, because it is a little bit far from you. And that's how the nearest classifier can be identified. The words say it all very perfectly, so I don't think so that we will have to go in deep dive of this. It is an approach how a machine learns. And the announcements for the next week, yeah, you're getting certificates, so please don't forget to subscribe us on YouTube. And also, if you are being a part of this introduction to AI module, then you will be getting certificates as well. The 3rd module talks about neural network and implications of AI, so don't forget to attend the meeting. Okay, have a good day. Bye.